Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm back with an amazing video one more time. It's the part 2 of my CQC Registered Manager interview questions, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for it. In the comments, people have been waiting for it in my previous video. If you haven't watched part 1, I would definitely say you need to go and watch part 1, because that is going to give you all the prep tips that you need for your interview. So please go ahead and watch part 1 of that video, and let's dive right into the part 2, where I'm going to give you sample question and the answers, the kind of answers you need to also kind of give for those questions. And yes, I'm going to just give you a couple of questions. If you need more questions, need more help in any way or form with any of this CQC interview, please get across to myself, get across to us, holistic recruiters. We do offer consultation when it comes to opening a domiciliary business and help with your consultation and your interviews. So let's dive right into the video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. And it's going to motivate me to do more videos for you guys regarding things to do with healthcare, things to do with CQC. And let's dive right into the video. At the beginning of the interview, he's going to ask, sorry, because she was my interviewer, asked for your ID card, just to make sure that you are the person that you say you are. So ask for your ID card, she'll look at the ID card, she'll show you her ID card, basically, yeah, and then it's a matter of, tell me about yourself, who are you? What makes you want to work in care? All of those things, just talk about your love for care. Me working in care has a backstory, so I told about my story about why I choose to work in care. So yeah, basically be honest, be open, be free, relax, get yourself a cup of tea. You are in your comfort area, your office, your house, anywhere. Which brings me to, I would advise you to basically use a space that you can't be disturbed. So if you're going to be staying at home and receiving the call, make sure it's a place whereby if you have children, you cannot be disturbed. Okay, so the first part of the video, questions. What kind of questions would I be asked on my interview? Well, they will not ask you any question that you should already not know the answer to. Questions from your policies and procedures, questions that you're already, aware of. So let me put the first question that is basically the most obvious one that you should know you're gonna definitely get. It might be put in a different form, but the answer might be the same. It says, what have you put in place to safeguard, to keep your patient, your service user, to safeguard your service user against abuse and neglect? Some question like that definitely is going to come up. You will definitely have a question regarding safeguarding. Not one, not two. They might have a few follow-up questions when it comes to safeguarding. Okay, what kind of answers are you going to tell them? When I'm giving my answers, I always like to make sure that you pinpoint it back to your policies and procedures. So according to our policy and procedure, here at this holistic recruiters, we have a customized safeguarding policy and procedure. We have this flow chart in place to let people, the staffs, our carers, and us to know what we do when safeguarding happens. Yeah, we have someone in place that is our safeguarding lead, that is responsible for everything safeguarding. Name the person. Most of the time, the individual will be yourself. Name the person. Myself, I'm the safeguarding lead. In this scenario, this is what I do. Follow your policies and procedures and just pick that out for them, and just talk about it. Let them know that you understand what safeguarding is. Let them know that you understand what abuse is. Just literally talk about it and put yourself into it, immerse yourself into it, and that way I feel like there's nothing about safeguarding that you might basically already answer your follow-up question that possibly might ask you. Okay, so let's go back to safeguarding. Let me give you a tip for answering your safeguarding question. There is this, let me put them, is it the 5 hours that you can use? You basically use these 5 hours when it comes to, if any service user come to you and talk to you about abuse or that they've gone through, or safeguarding situation that they've witnessed or that's happened to them. So these are the 5 hours. The hours help you to remember. So basically you recognize the abuse, you respond to it, you reassure them, you do a recap to make sure that what they told you, you understood it, and that's exactly what it is. You report it. Those are the 5 hours. So don't just assume this is what you're trying to say. So identify exactly what it is that the safeguarding, the abuses, and also just identify it. The question I would say you need to also know and research about is auditing. They're definitely going to ask you about auditing. They will ask you, what do you need to audit? What requires auditing? What kind of audit do you do? So you basically need to be able to give them a couple of examples. For auditing, is it equipment audit? Basically, you might think it's just the bare minimum, but trust me, revise and answer those questions. Equipment audit, your cost audit, efficient and control audit, basically anything to do with care, you are auditing, you're checking, you're auditing every single thing, whether it's biannually, state how frequently you are auditing, biannually, annually, quarterly, because different things need to be audited at different times. So basically, you need to show that your knowledge of audit. So that is another question that I would say you definitely need to make sure you research, you read, and you're ready to answer any question regarding auditing. Also, next question, you need to know about your service that you're providing. That should have been the first question. The service that you're providing, who are you providing the service to? What age range? What kind of care are you trying to provide? Are you providing any specialized care? Because if it's anything specialized, know that they will ask you a question about that specialized part. So if it is autism, know that they will be asking you about autism. So read about that in your policy and procedure. If you're going to be end of life care, know that they will ask you about end of life care. Read about that. They will ask you about your financial forecast for the company. You've technically already got this because you have to fill it in your application. They basically just texting your application of everything that you've done. That's it. Your financial forecast. They will want to know your experience. Talk about yourself. Nothing is too small. Any single experience you've had, work experience, life experience you've had, you can always relate it back to care. Even if you work in McDonald's, you have to take orders. So from McDonald's, you've learned to listen so that you can be able to listen to people's orders and get them right. So you've learned listening. So when somebody literally come to you to explain about safeguarding and abuse, you're listening. You know how to listen. You know how to take down notes. You know how to take down orders if you've been a waiter. So literally there's no role that you've ever done in the life that you cannot transfer. They are all transferable skills. So talk about that. Talk about the relevance of that. When they ask you, talk about yourself, because that's the first thing you're going to want to say. What did you talk about all your achievements, even if you don't think it's relevant. Other main thing they would want to know is, how do you do your recruitment? There you go. Your recruitment and policy procedures, or recruitment policies procedures. How do you do your recruitment? What is involved? What do you look for when you're recruiting someone? Who does your recruitment? Who does the interview? All of those things they would want to know. And don't forget, because you're a registered manager does not mean that you have to be the one to do every single thing. You can tell them you have staffs that will be the one doing this, and then you basically oversee it. You can tell them somebody will be going through the CVs, shortlist the candidate, and you would then be in the interview room. Because they're asking you the question doesn't mean they expect you to be the one to do it. So you need to make sure that you basically state what your policy and procedure for your company is. If you're going to be the one to do everything, then state that you're going to be the one to do everything. As easy as that. But they will basically ask you a lot more questions. They might ask you okay, what are the checks that you need to do when you're doing recruiting? There are checks that you need to check. Recruitment is another big one that you need to make sure that you are aware of and you are basically checked. Okay, they're going to ask you a question about what do you understand about your duty of candor. Talk about your duty of candor. What do you understand about duty of candor? Duty of candor, being open, honest, trustworthy, So that's basically it in a nutshell. Just talk about that. Duty of candor. They will ask you about, how do you train your staff? How do you give your training? What kind of training do you give? Do you give online training, face-to-face training? It's all in your policy and procedure. So definitely you already have the answers to the question. So that's why I said don't be nervous, because the answers are all there. And you might find yourself giving the same answer for different questions. That is fine. That's because the answers covers the same thing. So don't stress yourself about that. Okay, one big one is, just like COVID-19, nobody saw it coming. How did your care setting adjust with COVID? They want to know if something like epidemic happened, how would you adjust? If there's an emergency, how would you adjust? They want to know what are your policies and procedures you have in place to ensure that the care that people need to receive are still received no matter what. So basically, check your policies and procedure based on that. And one big other thing that they will definitely ask you about is medication. How do you record medication? How is your medication auditing? What training do you need to give your staffs when it comes to medication? How do you even allocate staffs for the patients? Know the answers to that. Recording medication. Where? How? When? You know, when you answer your question, try and basically describe and explain. So that way, you answer any follow-up question that they will possibly have for you. They are definitely going to ask you about mental capacity. They'll ask you about those. Make sure you know. When do you take out a door for someone? You need to know about that. They'll definitely be asking about Mental Capacity Act. So I would say, make sure you've gone to read about that. What are the trainings you give regarding mental capacity? So I'll definitely say, check Mental Capacity Act for one of the main things that you're going to make sure you have touched upon before your interview. So that will be the end of my few questions that possibly definitely will come up for your CQC interview. Let me know if you want part 2 of the question, because obviously, as you can tell, it ran for 2 hours, so definitely there will be other questions asked. But this is just a mini question. If you like consultation, if you like more help, you can always get across to us. I'll put our details in the description below, and you can contact us, myself, or my partner at Holistic Recruiters, and we'll be able to help you. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video. Guys, I've got a bonus question for you because you watch all the way to the end. I'm going to give you a bonus question that basically will cover questions about medication for you, because I know it's one big thing you don't want to miss. Okay, so what are the six hours? A lot of hours, can you notice? What are the 6 hours that you're going to take when it comes to medication administration? Yep, if you remember these 6 hours and you state them, basically stating the answers. Basically that's the answer. So the first hour, it means the right person is giving the medication. The right person with the right training, exactly, is giving the medication. Right person, right dose. Is it the right dose? Is it 1 tablet, 2 tablets, once a day, 3? Right dose. Yep. The next one is it the right time? Is it just for morning? Is it just for afternoons? Is it the right time? Is it the right date? Is it the right route? Is it meant to be oral? Is it patisserie? Is it the right route? Is it cream? Is it a lotion that you put on the skin? Mentation. Exactly. Is it documented well? The right person, the right route, the right time, the right date, the right dosage, and the right documentation. Those are your 6 hours for medication administration. Thank you so much for watching all the way again. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed already and you're watching this video, what are you doing already? Go and subscribe, because I do not gatekeep. Subscribe already and share this video, because you never know who you might be helping out there by sharing this video to them. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Have a good night, guys, and God bless.